You are listening to Single Smart Female. This is Jen, explaining the possibilities in your love life and examining your mantourage dating experiences. I am here to help you do life and love on your terms by tipping the scales of love permanently in your favor. So don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, and let's get started. Hey, my single smart female. It's your romantic fairy godmama coming to you today with a romantic fairy godmama quickie. Now, today's quickie topic is it a myth that single women can be happy? Now, your first response might be, for some of you, duh, of course. And for some of you, it might be, I don't know about that. So let's get to the actual answer. In the end, the actual answer is the first one. Duh, of course, but there's a lot packed into that, and there's a lot that needs to be understood, because I think sometimes we're selling this narrative in society that single women have to kind of fake their happiness, and I think it's leading to a lot of added pressure of having to be everything and do everything and have everything, and instead of really being able to truly enjoy what being single can be. Also, it is perfectly okay, it's not a contradiction, to be a single woman who is truly happy and who also desires a romantic relationship. So let me say that again. It is perfectly okay to be a single woman who is really truly happy in her life and still desires a wonderful romantic relationship. Those things are not incongruent with each other. Okay, that has to be very clear in all of this. So it is not a myth that single women can be happy, no matter what anybody tries to tell you, coming from any side of the spectrum. And my favorite's always, and I know you've probably heard this too, that men really only biologically prefer women who are in their early 20s and stuff like that. So women who prioritize, say, their career and stuff and wait until their 30s to find a long-term partner and have children and stuff are really shooting themselves in the foot. And that narrative still exists in our society today, and it cracks me the fuck up. Why? Because I see it every day in my practice, just how categorically false that statement is. There are lots of men, younger men, older men, same age men, who want and love and adore women in their 30s, their 40s, and the age piece is irrelevant. If you decide to step in my world, there is a difference, because you can remain under that false narrative, and you can actually, when you believe something down to the core, you can visibly see evidence of that, and you confirm that narrative for yourself over and over again. So I'm telling you, you don't have to believe me. That's fine. But then what I'm telling you is not for you. And that's something you're just going to have to accept, because it's not until you start to change even just a little bit of opening yourself up to something different, you're not going to see evidence of it. And that's how it works. Now, with that said, let's go back to, is this a myth that single women can be happy? And like I said, of course it's not a myth that single women can be happy. And in fact, if you're one of these single women who do desire to have a romantic relationship, but you feel like you can't be happy until you have the romantic relationship, I'm going to tell you one of the biggest keys to finding the romantic relationship that you want is to get your shit together and get happy. And trust me, I know that that's easier said than done. Why? Because we're being taught as single women that we have to have all the things, and we're creating a shit ton of anxiety in our life and making things far more difficult than they need to be. Your schedule does not have to be packed out 24/7. And in fact, if you can't go on a date with yourself and have some time to just yourself, if you do not enjoy it, you're too afraid to be alone, that's exactly where you need to start. Because if you aren't fun enough to hang out with yourself, why the fuck do you think you're any fun to hang out with a guy that you really like? Okay? And I know that's some tough truth right there. And so if that's the place you're in, that's the first place I want you to start. is I want you to take yourself out on a date. I want you to go somewhere on your own, whether it be the movies or a bar or just even out to dinner. And I want you to have an amazing time with yourself first. All right? Now, from there, you're going to, as we've talked about before, you're going to scale down some of the shit you've got going on in your life because guess what? If you're always overpacking your schedule, you're always going to feel frantic. The third piece of it is quit worrying about every fucking thing that happens in this world. It doesn't make you a better person, okay? If you spend all your time hating this world, you don't have any chance of being happy. And then it's significantly, like exponentially harder to find the romantic relationship that you want because relationships are about being happy together. And if you have no place of happiness independently, again, why do you fucking expect somebody else to come in and make that all right for you? It doesn't work that way, especially because you're a strong, ambitious single woman. So work on the get happy piece first too. It doesn't have to be fake happiness, but you need to start taking joy in this world. Okay? There are lots of amazing things going on in this world alongside and even more so than the shitty ass things that are going on. So you need to divert your attention and focus on some of those because if you're going to exclusively focus on the latter, then all you're going to get in your life is the latter. That's the essence of life that you are creating. And truthfully, you deserve more than that. And plus, you're not doing a damn bit of good for the rest of the world of women by being fucking miserable all the time. Okay? So choose to start finding joy and pleasure in not only being able to date yourself, but then also being able to just recognize the goodness and being grateful for all the amazing things that are. And there are a fuck ton. And if you can't think of any, if you can't even think of 15 right this second that you could write down, you need to start there as well. That has got to be the first thing because there's too much going on that you're neglecting, but you'll never train yourself to feel all the happiness and joy that is possible if you're not even willing to recognize the good that is. Now, finally, remember when we were talking about, wanting that romantic, wonderful relationship? I want to remind everyone that we don't have to pretend that we're happy by any means. And at the same time, we have to acknowledge that our happiness is our responsibility. It's not somebody else's to fix. You have to start making choices that contribute to your happiness. And if you're not doing that and you're only contributing to other people's happiness, then you're fucking yourself and you're not doing yourself a bit of good. Okay? So make sure that you are making choices in your life that are contributing to your happiness, your joy, your pleasure, not overtaxing yourself with too much responsibility, too many activities. By the way, you can, in the pursuit of pleasure, a lot of times this is because women are afraid to be alone. They have their schedules so packed out because they're afraid to be alone that they end up getting frantic and feeling all kinds of constant anxiety and worry that they don't need to feel. So really consider all those pieces. And as you're unwinding all of this, then it's also time to remember, and as you learn to Mantourage date the right way, if you want to do that with me, it's mantouragedating.com. Mantourage is spelled MANTOURAGE, dating.com. For a free 3-day class, you'll start unwinding all these things, learning to truly enjoy your life and incorporating dating into your life instead of making it a necessary evil that I've got to do if I want to find a relationship. No, you're going to learn how to enjoy dating, bring peace to dating, relaxation, pleasure to dating, and then all of a sudden, as you're learning these different skills through Mantourage dating and making your life truly enjoyable, enjoying being single, then the right man won't be able to resist you. Okay, lover girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show. It is a definite myth that single women can't be truly happy. In fact, it's one of the best seduction techniques that exist. Hey, Lover Girl. Thanks for joining me today and texting this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends. If you have a question that you'd like to submit for on-air consideration or want to learn more about working with me, then meet me over at singlesmartfemale.com. See you there.